Go Hogs. That was Pete. So thank you, Paul. It's good to be here in the neighboring state of Texas, or Southwest Arkansas, as we often call it. But my district actually borders Texas, and part of my district actually was at one time part of the Republic of Texas. So it's a fascinating story, but there's a part of the 4th District of Arkansas that actually is on the west side of the Red River, which at one time was not only the border of Texas, but the border of Mexico. So it's always good to be here in the great state of Texas. Paul, you talked about forestry facts, and to prevent any fake news from being out there, I think folks in Georgia might disagree about who produces the most timber in the country, but Texas produces a lot of timber, a lot more than most people realize, because there's a huge pine forest between here and Arkansas, really all along the eastern side of Texas. As we look at energy production and mineral production in the U.S., some people are trying to take the narrative and twist it and make it into something that it's really not. And I think that we've got to be better about digging into the facts and getting the real information out there, because as long as you're arguing on the side of truth, you're always going to have an advantage on those who want to twist the truth. And we've got to be diligent in making sure that we're getting the truth out when we talk about the importance of energy production and mineral production here in our country, and what's happening worldwide with things like greenhouse gas emissions. When you look at the production of greenhouse gas in the United States, it's nearly 7,000 million metric tons per year that we produce. But where does that stack up in the world? And when you see things put out like the Green New Deal that says we want to eliminate all transportation fuels, all fossil fuels in transportation, what would that really mean? Well, if you look at the world's production of greenhouse gas, the U.S. makes up about 15% of that. About 28% of that comes from transportation. So if you remove fossil fuels from all automobiles, all trains, all boats, all aircraft, you would affect global greenhouse gas emissions by around 4%. But it would be totally devastating to our economy right now if that were to happen. If you look at things like these little devices we all carry in our pockets that have over 60 different elements in them, and you start researching where those elements come from, if you look at a bar graph, you can hardly see all the other countries besides China, where all these elements are being produced in China, where we have vast deposits of elements all across the country. Up in Arkansas, we have oil and gas production, we have mining, we produce a lot of minerals. We have brine wells where we can extract lithium that goes into the batteries of all the technology that's out there. And our country has been extremely blessed with natural resources. And I think we've done a pretty good job of managing those resources and being good stewards of it. And we have to tell that story more. We lead the world in reduction of greenhouse gases. We do that because of our technology. We can't back off on technology and research and making our existing fuels cleaner and making future fuels more cost-effective and economical. And with our technology, we can produce products that the market will want, and the market will bring those products into play versus some kind of a government subsidy or government program that really hinders technology and development. If you look at some of the government funding that's being spent on renewables right now, it's subsidizing centuries-old technology in some cases, and it gives no incentive to improve that technology. Where if we let the market dictate, our scientists and inventors and entrepreneurs will come up with ways to tackle any problem that we have out there, and we've always done that. One last thing, since we I was talking about transportation fuels. You know, some people say we should go to all electric. And those same people say that we can't use nuclear power anymore. If you look at the greenhouse gas emissions in our country, 50% of it come from electrical production and industry. And we want to move transportation fuels over to that area too, and then take away the tools and the innovation we have to produce more energy. So it has no logic and makes no sense. And I think we've got to continue to point that out and bring those kind of facts to the table because the general public's not getting that. You know, kids are being literally scared in public schools today that they don't have a future because we're destroying the planet and we only have a short time to fix that. Again, I'm glad to be here, looking forward to the discussions, and I appreciate everybody who's attending today and to get to be here with such a distinguished panel of my colleagues.